So shout out to Ashton for sending me this story coming from Black Enterprise. Look at this title. It says police officer allegedly urinated on the funeral home that served Andrew Brown Jr. Like I said, not far removed from their ancestors. And when I say ancestors, I'm talking about the ones that came out of them caves where they should have left them at. A funeral home that belongs to a black council member who sympathizes with the death of Andrew Brown Jr. was allegedly urinated on by a police officer while in uniform. Elizabeth City, North Carolina council member Gabriel Atkins said he has surveillance footage of an officer urinating on his private property blatantly in a sign of disregard for Black lives, according to the Washington Post, hours after Brown was shot. His feelings about the shooting with his colleagues. As a black man sitting here tonight, I'm afraid that I might be the next one, Atkins said, implying that he might be the next Brown, a 42-year-old unarmed black man who was shot and killed by his police car. By police in his car. Well, he better strap up if he feels fearful. I'm completely furious that any member of the sheriff department would think these acts are acceptable. Before I go forward, I'm going to need black people to understand something. I need y'all to recognize what climate we are in and stop being so shocked and appalled when you have animals doing animalistic and savage type things, such as urinating on private property. This is a funeral home, a place where we house families, loved ones. I have lost all trust and respect for our sheriff's department. Well, he gets a point there. He said he lost all respect for him, and I can take that, but still strap up though. The video was posted to Facebook and became a breaking news story on Raleigh News and Observer. The explanation for why the officer, who was black, urinated on the... Oh, look at that. We have a sambo. Urinated on the funeral home was given by the Pasquotank, I probably mispronounced that, County Sheriff Tommy Wooten via the Washington Post email. Apparently the black officer in question, and now because of that, they're gonna say black a couple times. Apparently the black officer in question was on patrol around 2:30 a.m. and had nowhere to use the restroom. Wooten also said the black officer technically relieved himself near an outbuilding behind the business close to a nearby field. So they giving him cover. In addition to Wooten's statement, the spokesman said the black officer didn't know who owned the business and meant no disrespect to Mr. Atkins and has reached out to apologize to him. That's not the point. The fact of the matter is you went up. And see, here's the thing. You had to have gone up to where this place was at and urinated on it. The fact that he said that he didn't know who owned the business, that means that, so what? That you didn't know who owned the business. The fact is it was it's private property and you took it upon yourself to go and pee on the side of the building. That's besides the point. Like, you mean to tell me you could not have gotten out and done that, I don't know, behind the car? I mean, if you was the only one out there, you could have gotten out behind the car and just peed right there behind your cruiser. But that means he would have had to take it upon himself to get out of the car and walk to the building to do that. He says, I've reinforced to all deputies the need to respect the community and avoid even the appearance of anything that could be seen as disrespectful, Wooten added. And see, they had to make sure that they mentioned that this was a black officer that did this to a black funeral home that housed or that held Andrew Brown Jr.'s body in it. They had to make sure to emphasize it was black so they couldn't cry racism. They think they slick. They not low. They are not low. I don't give a damn if the cop was black that did it. It was still a very disrespectful thing to do. You mean to tell me you patrolled this area before, assumingly that you have, and you didn't know that was a funeral home? And you couldn't find anywhere to relieve yourself? You just happened to walk up on the building and just pee on it. I'm telling you, they get worse by the day. And like I said, when they're in that uniform, remember, they don't see color except blue. That's their brother in blue. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.